Australia should accept 21st century education and 21st century political system to succeed and be up to date. I spoke to Jamie Mcintyre, the CEO of 21st Century Education and author of 101 Ways to Improve Australia, about his view on Australian education, politics, and how it can be changed. So, how did you become a self-made millionaire from being almost a bankrupt?
Yeah, that's quite some time ago in my early 20s. I'd started a telecommunications company at a young age. I'd made some decent money, then lost it all. I was almost bankrupt, living on a friend's couch in Sydney. I was fortunate enough then to be able to go and work for a self-made millionaire and his group of companies, and that's where I learned how, I guess it was like serving a millionaire apprenticeship. I learned how to be an entrepreneur, how to be an investor in the real estate market and stock market. I learned to eliminate my debt, and over a period of about 5 years, after investing in real estate and starting some businesses, I was able to become a self-made millionaire in my 20s.
Yeah, and how did you get all this knowledge to become a millionaire?
Well, the difference is I was studying accountancy at university, so I was taught the key to success is go to school, get good grades, go to university, and you'll get a good job and work for 45 years and retire to the good life. But that formula, unfortunately, is outdated. So what I realized is that school and university was only teaching me theory. Is as valuable as it is, it's not enough to succeed in today's world. So as a result, I was fortunate enough to realize I need to study off people that have a PhD in results, no PhD in theory. So that's where I went and looked for mentors, financial mentors such as self-made millionaires, and successful people in business that I could learn off, that could teach me how to do the things that I really needed to do to become successful.
Oh, great. So, can you tell me about the 21st century education which you made?
Yeah, 21st century education was an idea. I remember being at university, and I said to my mother at the time, I said, why isn't there a university that would teach you how to be successful in life? Little did I know a decade later that would be one of my passions, and I realized that to be successful in society is actually common sense and something that is replicatable and anyone could actually learn how to do. It's simply we're not taught financial education or emotional intelligence at school or university. So my goal then was to realize that our school system is heavily outdated. It's a 19th century education system, and the world needs a modern-day 21st century education system designed for today's world. So that's how 21st century education started, and we've educated almost 600,000 people now from 17 different countries in a modern-day education based and taught by those with a PhD in results.
Yeah, so who are your main customers? People who graduate uni or somebody else?
No, most of the people that come to our events, they actually range. It used to be the baby boomers predominantly because they were looking to be financially educated, to set themselves up for retirement. But since the credit crisis, there's been a lot more younger people. So we have people, just individuals, people that might be business people or people that have a job. They're just wanting to have a better quality of life and are willing to, I guess, self-motivated enough to invest in their own real-life education and improve their knowledge and skill set.
Yeah, so is it international or just in Australia?
It is international as far as, we do have clients, as I said, from over 17 different countries, but the majority of our clients are Australian and New Zealand still at this point.
Okay, so let's talk about the government now. What can you tell me about it? I have heard you're against the state government in Australia. Why is that?
Yeah, well, I wrote a book, 101 Ways to Improve Australia, and one of those ways was the elimination of state governments. The reason I'm suggesting that, I'm not the only one suggesting that, is that in Australia we have a population of 23 million people. UK, as an example, has a population of 60 million people, almost 3 times the population, yet they only have 2 levels of government, and a federal level and a local level. In Australia, we have a small population, but we have 3 levels of government, 1 level too many. I suggest elimination of state government, so we have stronger local government and better run federal government. It would save billions and billions of dollars a month. It would stop the replication of many things like healthcare, education, transport, infrastructure. All these things should be one national system. They should not be independent state-based systems that replicate and duplicate each other. It costs a large amount of money and it's a waste of time and resources to have state governments in Australia.
So basically you are for the federal government?
Well, I wouldn't say the federal government's that popular. I'm just saying that we should have a better political system. But we don't need 3 levels of government. It's just an overkill. We're one of the most over-regulated countries on the planet. We're known as the nanny state. And it's inefficient. And I'm sure everyone agree with if we have less elections, people won't mind that, and less politicians. We need to be more efficient and more productive as a country, and having 3 tiers of government is one of the things that's holding us back.
Also, what can you tell me about the blog called 21st Century Political System in Australia, which you made?
Yeah, so what I'm about is creating, once again, same thing with the education system. It's outdated. It's a 19th century education system that needs to be brought into today's 21st century world. Same with our political system. It's created in the 19th century. It's outdated. We need an advanced, modern-day 21st century political system to improve our nation and effectively improve the world. So what I'm suggesting is Australians are very disillusioned with our current political system, both federal and state levels. What I think a new political system would be where Australians get to vote directly on major policy. With technology these days, with Facebook and the internet, we could easily log on and vote whether we want a mining tax, yes or no, vote whether we want a carbon tax, or vote whether we want national broadband. So people have the power to vote on these, because at the moment you can vote for a politician that says there will be no carbon tax, yet when she's elected, she can change her mind and say, now we're going to have a carbon tax. That really disillusions voters. Voters should have a direct say. We don't need political parties. We should be able to vote direct on major policy in this country.
Okay, yeah, great. Thanks a lot. And finally, can you tell me the secret to become a millionaire as you did and to achieve success as you did?
Okay, I think that there is a shortcut to success, and a lot of people think there isn't. And the secret, if you say, what is the shortcut to success? It's to model. At school, we're taught not to copy. I'm suggesting this 21st century we should copy, but we call it modeling. And what I mean by that, anything you want to do, someone's already done it before. So in other words, find a mentor or a role model or that you can learn off or model how they become successful. Because if someone's already done it, you can learn off them. That's the key, and model success. China is one of the most successful economies in the world, in the planet right now, because they are very good at modelling what other companies do around the world. I think Australians, we can have a much better country. We need to really sort of wake up and look at improving things. We need a new political system, and we need a new education system in this country. Those two things will completely change this country for the better, because my concern is where we'll be 20 years from now. And with our current government and our current policies, Australia's going to end up another Spain basket case economy if we don't make some urgent changes.
Dari Delgoa, fair comment.